Alright, we've got a couple vehicles coming down the road. They look like they're going about the speed limit. They slow down, maybe 7 miles per hour, 5 to 7 miles per hour. Definitely not a complete stop. Here's another one, more or less the speed limit. They slow down, but not a complete stop by any means. He probably traversed the speed bump at about, I'm going to say 12 miles per hour, maybe a tiny bit higher. Here's another one. That guy doesn't seem to have slowed down at all. This car is slowing down to a near complete stop. And you know, I was wrong on my previous video. It looks like there are two levels to the speed bump. There's a little hump, or there's a little rise, and then a couple feet later there's another rise, then a couple feet later a dip, and then a couple feet later another dip. So it's a two-level speed hump. Here are two cars. Now in Highland Lakes, the first car would stop and the second car would come very close to it. In this one, the car's going kind of slowly and they just continue along. Even the Lexus with a low, kind of a lower stature slows down, but definitely not 1 mile per hour. This guy speeding a little bit but slows down for the speed bump, definitely not a stop. This guy slows down maybe a tiny bit, because you can hear them accelerate after they go over, which means they're slowing down and then accelerating. But what we're noticing is these vehicles are not coming to a complete stop like we see in Highland Lakes. Here's a van. Now we've seen vans go over speed bumps in Highland Lakes. That van went over no problem at least 10 miles per hour, approximately 10 miles per hour. What's the point? The point is that a speed hump is effective at calming traffic. It's effective at controlling the speed at which vehicles traverse the neighborhood, or vehicles go through the neighborhood and traverse the speed humps. But you're not causing vehicles to come to a 1 mile per hour crawl just to navigate through the neighborhood. So a solution like we have here, I don't know the name of this street, but it's the southernmost street on Hallandale Beach in Hallandale Beach, bordering the wall toward Highland Lakes, the north end of Highland Lakes. So we've got one more car. We might as well just watch it go. It looks like it's the speed bump down there, several hundred yards down the road. It went over kind of slowly. Car's driving kind of slowly anyway, probably about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And they go slowly, but that's just about the fastest that we're seeing people travel over the speed bumps in Highland Lakes. Here's a city bus. And a city bus is similar to a fire truck, but maybe not exactly the same. But let's see if by any chance the city bus is going to be going over the speed bump. I think we're going to be in luck. So the speed bump, or not the speed bump, the city bus, cruising at about 15-20, slows down but does not come to a complete stop. Goes over at about 5 miles per hour because there's no jolt. In this type of speed hump, there's a nice roll, there's a little rise and a fall, but there's not a jolt. And so a bus with 50 passengers doesn't even need to go over at 1 mile per hour. They can still go 5 to 10. And here we can see car after car, traffic flows without the cars having to stop. I'm going to end the video momentarily. It's kind of exciting for me because I'm making all these speed hump videos I feel like the more cars go over, the more data we have and the more evidence we have that a hump, an extended hump or a speed table, is better than a 3-foot speed bump like we have in Highland Lakes Boulevard. By the way, that last Mercedes didn't even slow down at all and just went over, but they weren't going more than 25 miles an hour to begin with. The objective is to keep cars at 30 miles per hour or lower. The objective is not to make cars come to a complete stop at every speed bump. we've seen, personally, I've almost been rear-ended about 4 times in the last few months because cars don't expect the car in front of them to come to a near complete stop just to go over a speed bump. But in my case, I have to, for a variety of reasons. So here are a couple cars going really slowly. The blue car in front made a full stop. This is interesting. Put their hazards on, and the other cars went around, and it looks like they stopped because they're pulling into a driveway. The Honda Civic slows down, 10 miles an hour, goes over the SUV, nice cruising speed of about 7 or so miles per hour. All right, I'm going to end the video there. Thanks for watching.